is everybody?
We're good. We're all in a room. You're looking at Kate right now, but she'll pick up her laptop and you'll see we're all gathered around. And thank you for taking a few minutes out of your day to just talk to the group. Before you have obviously your people, and then we've assembled half a dozen of our team to work through it all. So I know you're busy, so we won't do introductions for everybody on our team right now. But obviously we're really excited about this, and we're diving into it. We've been at it for about 3 to 4 hours here. And wanted to just have the team hear some of your thoughts and some of your maybe unstructured vision and sort of where we're going on this.
Right. Hey man, listen, I've got 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and I want to take those in. I'm just fired up that you guys have the new positioning and the website getting this done. So just start showing your cool stuff and let's roll.
Perfect. We're done.
Mark, do you maybe want to just share with this group just conversations that you've had with the ELT around the brand and any vision that they've shared with you on what they want out of this work? Any examples, aspirational examples that you want to share? Any watch-outs to share with this group as well? Things we don't want to do? Just any insight from conversations you've had with ELT is helpful, I think.
Yeah. Wow. That boy, I could probably run out with all those for quite some time. Let me just try to, in the interest of focus, because I did not have a set agenda, but I'll be more than happy to spend on some of these. First of all, it's nice to meet all of you that I have not met yet, and I look forward to doing that soon. And we won't always be so pressed. I'm sorry I pulled into an emergency Amazon AWS meeting that I have to jump on. Otherwise, I would be there. Look forward to meeting you all. Look forward to working together. So we're extremely excited about that. So I guess sort of first things first, if you want to talk a little bit about just kind of positioning and guidelines to follow some of our previous conversations, I think if anything has changed or solidified since that last, it's just that it's that very thing that we continue to go out in the marketplace and realize that our customers don't have a fundamental understanding of the breadth of our capabilities. We have under roof all of this expertise across a variety of different cloud platforms, from public to private to managed hosting. We have an application services. We have a pro services group. We look a lot more like an Accenture or a consultancy when you peel back all the different disciplines that we bring to the table. However, with that said, we've never really done a good job stitching those together, and we certainly haven't stitched those together and gone to market with a unified voice around this level of consultancy that we can provide our clients. And that is imperative as we move up the food chain from being an organization that traditionally did managed hosting and Microsoft Cloud Office and a lot of small business services to really be engaged in a mid-market and an enterprise acquisition rhythm. And so we're retooling the organization still along that thesis that we look a lot more like a consultancy than an infrastructure company. We have to create that conversion in real time because we still have a $2.5 billion highly profitable business that we need to service. But that decidedly our future is not about selling individual services within that toolkit, but rather it is that consultancy, that trusted advisor that can guide you through a digital transformation world with more certifications and more expertise than anybody in the market. And today there's a lot of enthusiasm around public cloud. So everybody talks about AWS or Microsoft Azure and all that's happening in the public sphere, but the reality is most enterprises will continue to exist in a multi-cloud world, because there's just some applications that belong on a private cloud. There's some applications that belong on different environments. And so what we have to do organizationally, and our ELT has really bought into, is this idea that we have to aggregate all of that learning and all of that expertise and repackage the new rack space more appropriately fit the level of service that we bring to enterprise computing. And that's where we're looking for your help in that mission. That's probably the best table set I can give you.
That's good.
Wait, and Mark, when you think about us aspiring to reach that enterprise customer, from like how we're showing up in market today, like what where do you think the gaps are? We could use our website as an example. Like when you go to our homepage and you think about making this relevant to small enterprise, where do you think we're gapped? Other than the positioning not coming to life.
Yeah. Well, I'd probably say this, before getting down into the tactics or the tools, I'd look in macro at the larger problem. Here's the common theme that we're getting, okay, and this is really important. We sit down with enterprise C-level folks, and they have two things that they say. I thought you guys just did infrastructure. I didn't know that you could do all that stuff, okay? So whether the gaps are on the website, the gaps are in our event activities, the gaps are in our go-to-market materials, I think it's all of the above. What we haven't done is we haven't retooled the organization to speak in a voice that reaches an executive and a C-level decision maker. So our first order of business is to figure out, what that right message looks like, what that platform, how we'd activate that platform, and I believe all of the tool sets are in dire need of refresh. I don't know that we don't get C-level engagement because they've put that off of our website. I don't think we've done anything on an outbound basis that's articulated who we are in the market. So for me, it's greenfield, quite frankly, of reestablishing the brand, making sure that we educate the market as to the spectrum of services. And I think a lot of that is going to be dependent on high-level, high-end level engagement. There's a real motion inside the ELT right now to get very black ops focused on trying really just to do hand-to-hand combat with executives. I spent time with 4 different companies at our retreat last week in Napa, and 2 of those said, Mike, bring out your executive team and talk to us. We didn't know that you had all these services, and we're trying to expedite a deal right now. Literally, we're just not asking for the business, and we're not telling customers what the hell we do. And so we're going to have to articulate that on everything that we do.
Okay.
Agreed.
So, Mark, do you have any, this is Jay, do you have any input on how to balance the need to articulate that vision, this more professional services centered vision, against the need to sort of also support the dedicated business? Because, the big brand campaign we had, the IMEC campaign, part of the problem was we over-indexed on the multi-cloud expertise thing, and then we kind of realized that, hey, we still need to support the existing, install base on the dedicated side.
Yeah, man, it's a challenge. The truth be told, you've got business units who are putting a lot of pressure on us to help increase funnel and to help drive that individual business. But at the same time, as an ELT, we've realized monetization of those tools means that longer term, we have to be doing a solutions-oriented sell. Now, it's very interesting you bring up ProServe. Almost all the discussion points are happening today around applications and professional service type activities. And what happens is infrastructure now has become sort of this commoditized part of a tech stack decision, that what happens is people who are discussing applications and are discussing professional services are intermediating us or disintermediating us so that they're getting to make the decision on who the infrastructure player is. So we actually have to peer application in a ProServe level, first and foremost, if we're going to achieve our objective of being a solutions-oriented vendor. With that said, where the balance lies, tough call. We're trying to figure that out right now. The reality is we've disengaged from a lot of our vendor support programs because we ran a little rail to rails over this idea that we're a solutions-oriented vendor. We weren't going to talk about tools, when in reality, there probably should have been some slower migration away and some balance in the mix. We're trying to figure out how we reset that right now. But it continues to be a challenge, and I don't have that yet.
But you think it's fair to say that as a priority at brand level, it makes more sense to index on that professional services, application services, solution side rather than the infrastructure?
But being cognizant.
Yes, and absolutely yes. Correct.
Okay. So we're going to do this work over the course of the summer. We're going to roll out a great brand with you. What's your advice in terms of how to communicate that back to your stakeholders internally? obviously, we're going to go to you. Is that, or do we not need to worry about that right now? Am I getting ahead of myself?
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. Look, the stakeholders are in the room for the most part. We got a couple others. We'll vet and flush before we take it upstairs, and once we get alignment on where we think we want to go directionally, I'll handle the pre-sale work and the navigation upstairs, but I do not see a lot of challenges. Look, we have a CEO that is got very strong opinions on this stuff, and historically, he likes to see things fully vetted. He's not interested so much in being a part of the process. Now, he wants to see a process, and he wants to see good data behind elections, but he does not want to be involved in the process proper. So once we've honed in on where we think we want to head, and as long as we've got good support and backup for it, I feel relatively confident that I could get those approved in a pretty short order.
Yeah. And I'll just second his call out on the power of data.
Yeah, just marking
Right.
that
I
down
mean,
pretty
even
quick,
if
yeah.
even if we conduct some small customer focus groups along the way, just having some external support and data goes really far with that audience. I've learned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amen.
Mark, at one time, a few months ago, Joe was pretty set on us, aspiring to be kind of systems integrator, right? And going down that path. Where does that stand today? What is that aspiration kind of been pulled in a little bit, or is that still a goal?
No, it's been pulled in. I think that is a bridge too far for our capabilities, Kate. I think we've recognized that. We can see into the future, but we can't see around walls, like others can. So I think what we're trying to settle on, this is a very imprecise answer, is that we want to move up the continuum, look more like an SI, but we know where our heritage lies, where our limitations are. I think as a digital transformation, and we've talked about that expression, how tired we are of it, so forgive me, but I'm going to use it in lieu of anything else. But this business transformation, digital transformation, advisor, trusted vendor who understands the implications of your applications and where they run best and the infrastructure decisions therein. We possess a lot of that IP, and that's foundational transformation decision making and advice that's necessary for companies today. And so we know that we're really good at that when we get our act together. We can be really good at it. And so we want to future cast, this is going to be part of this exercise, right? Watson couldn't do 95% of the junk Bell said it did. But,
Yeah.
right? And I'm being funny with you, but the truth is, we're going to have to future cast against our capabilities a little bit in a reasonable enough system, that we still have credibility we can deliver. And so we're getting there in real time. We'll be looking for some of your advice to help us figure out just how far out on that continuum we can go, honestly.
Okay.
Yep. And we spent some time earlier today, Mark, walking through the integrated service management platform, the single pane of glass, just to give this group a taste of where we are trying to be more innovative and deliver more value to the customer through our
Right.
agile delivery and technology roadmap. And we all kind of got real excited about that story in the room. So I definitely think there are some interesting innovation spaces that we can talk to that's can be future casting, but also
Yeah.
real in the near future.
So a couple things on that. So first of all, in our world, team, this would be a major breakthrough, and it's something our customers have been asking for. And just at first glance, this idea of a single screen utility to manage all your infrastructure and load balance, and even do things like billing applications. So when different business units are sharing a single invoice, there's a lot of neat things you can do there that our customers are extremely excited about. When you do your own research, though, you find out that single pane of glass is used by a lot of different firms. So while it will be unique and a great advantage for us, we are hardly the first to come out with single pane of glass discussions and offerings. So you might just a little sobering info, temper that just a tad, at least in terms of as a positioning feature against others in the market. We're not the first. I do think, though, one thing that would be right for some creative thought would be around how do we show innovative stories as part of that thought leadership, Mark? And I'll give you an example. I was with the guys from Rent the Runway up in New York, New Jersey. I think they're Jersey City. No, Secaucus. Anyway, you know, they've got a really cool rental business in women's fashion, and they've got a fascinating logistics story on how the dresses are rented. They come back in, they have to be clean, they're on the assembly line, sometimes they need to zipper, they have to get repackaged, and so their inventory is basically in constant motion. And so the tracking of that is a bit of a logistics nightmare. And through a discussion that I had with the CTO, encouraged him to try augmented reality and use some headsets to actually help him pick, pack, and ship. Already introduced them to the leading vendor in AR. And so if we can empower a cool story where somebody's looking through Google Glass to basically pick, pack, and ship out of this really cool factory, there may be some neat stories that will actually have meat on the bone. We need to really do our customer cases and see where we can find some stories that have some sex appeal. But as a general rule, we're kind of lacking right now for great showcases to point to as examples for the cool stuff that we've done, because most of what we're still doing is foundational. So anything like single pane of glass, anything like us incorporating something as cutting edge as augmented reality in a solution set, we need to figure out where we can pick those and hopefully use those as a showcase to cast us in a brighter light.
All right, guys, we only have Mark here for a few more minutes. Any other questions from the team? All right.
I got one more. Mark, I know we've been talking a lot about trying to get higher up in the food chain and target C-level decision makers, but earlier in the room we were talking about how to engage technical, influencers, and I was just wondering if you had any thoughts about that. Like, what kind of technical content should we be thinking about? Who do we want to talk to on that level, and how?
Yeah, I think this gets back to sort of our product services argument, and some of these challenges are structural for us internally in terms of where the influence and the authority lies today in terms of the spend around technical and solution messages, and that sits within the BUs today. Not something I'm fond of. I'm not really crazy about the way we are architected to work in conjunction with those teams. That's part of the call that we have in a few minutes. But as of today, it's back to that thing. I'm not sure what that balance, if you're looking for an allocation, looks like. I know that we have to do some technical messaging. Right now, my focus is on trying to turn this ship to this solutions orientation and an approach to C-level. Right now, we bifurcated our technology messaging down to the BU unit, and we're letting it sit with clients and partner funds. I think until further notice, I'm not sure, again, know how to answer what that balance looks like.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Any other parting words for this group before we let you go?
Yeah, look, I'm sorry I'm so rushed. Please don't take it as a slight. I'm super fired up to finally be working with you, and I would give anything to be there. And I'm looking forward to lots of time in the future. We're very, very excited about finally kicking off with you guys.
Well, we are too, and we'll be down to visit you guys in a couple weeks, or some set of this team. So we'll hopefully get on your calendar. We can shake your hand and say hi.
Yeah, we'll bring your short sleeve suit because it'll be 100 and humid.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Mark, for joining us. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks. Appreciate it. Bye. Bye-bye.
Shalane, did you figure out what to do about Jay? Other Jay?